With the election of Donald Trump, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization now faces one of the biggest challenges since the Cold War.
How could the U.S. president-elect remake the organization? 3 ways.
1. Article 5 of the Washington Treaty. NATO constitutes a system of collective defense. Its 28 member states are unconditionally committed to defend each other in response to an attack by an external party. Mr. Trump has questioned whether the U.S. will defend allies that don't spend enough on their military.
We're talking about tremendous amounts of money that we put in. Now we're defending countries, and we're not getting reimbursed anywhere near the cost of doing it. Now, you know, that might have been okay 30 years ago when we were different, and it might have been okay 25 years ago and 40 years ago, and it might have been, but you know what? It's not okay anymore, folks.
All allies have made a solemn commitment to defend each other. And this is something which is absolute and it's unconditioned.
And a stern reminder.
And we have to remember that the only time that we have invoked Article 5, our collective defense clause, is after an attack on the United States, after 9/11.
But would the U.S. under President Trump return the favor?
His comments have created worry in Eastern Europe and the Baltic states, where there are growing fears of Russian aggression.
Number 2, Russia.
I said that Putin has much better leadership qualities than Obama, but who doesn't know that?
Mr. Trump's admiration of Russian President Vladimir Putin has not gone unnoticed.
Let me say this about Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin is an aggressor that does not share our interests. Vladimir Putin is violating the sovereignty of neighboring countries.
Since the annexation of Crimea in 2014, the U.S. and NATO have taken a hard line against Russia. But this stance is unlikely to sit well with Mr. Trump, and could potentially derail NATO's plans to counter Russian aggression in the region.
Like its plans to deploy 4,000 troops to the Baltic states and Poland next year, or the Obama administration's plans to send a heavy infantry brigade to Eastern Europe.
Хочу поздравить американский народ с завершением избирательного цикла, а господина Дональда Трампа с победой на этих выборах. Но Россия готова и хочет восстановления полноформатных отношений с Соединенными Штатами.
We have to get along with people. We have to get along with certain nations, very importantly, because it would be awfully good to have Russia and others with us on major attacks on ISIS.
Number 3, terrorism. Mr. Trump has repeatedly criticized NATO's role in fighting terrorism.
We have NATO. I think it's 68 years old. It was really designed for the Soviet Union, which doesn't exist anymore, but Russia's plenty tough, so you can do that. But it wasn't designed for terrorism. They have the wrong countries. They have the wrong everything. And our real threat today is terrorism. That's our big threat. We have other threats, but we have a big threat of terrorism. So they have to either rejigger it or come up with something new. But terrorism's a threat. We have to knock the hell out of these crazy people that are all over the place, right?
U.S. officials point to NATO's creation of an intelligence chief as an example of how it is adapting to a more aggressive role in counterterrorism.
NATO has responded with determination to the new security situation. But we have more work to do. And I look forward to meeting Mr. Trump soon and welcoming him to Brussels for the NATO summit next year to discuss the way forward.